This is ABC News, read by Jacqueline Douglas. Trump says talks with Putin on Ukraine ceasefire have a very good chance of success. He said Tuesday's phone call would include dividing up assets. This article was written by Alexandra Holtzler on March 18, 2025 at 3:05 a.m. President Donald Trump will hold a high-stakes call with Russia's Vladimir Putin on Tuesday as he tries to win his approval of a 30-day ceasefire with Ukraine. It's a bad situation in Russia, and it's a bad situation in Ukraine, Trump said on Monday. What's happening in Ukraine is not good, but we're going to see if we can work on a peace agreement, a ceasefire, and peace, and I think we'll be able to do it. The positive assessment follows his prediction Sunday night that "we'll see if we have something to announce, maybe by Tuesday," saying a lot of work had been done over the weekend. Maybe we can, maybe we can't, but I think we have a very good chance. The Kremlin on Tuesday said it expects the call within a 2-hour window beginning at about 9 a.m. Eastern Time. The encounter would be the first known call between Trump and Putin since peace talks between the U.S. and Ukraine officials a week ago in Saudi Arabia yielded Kyiv agreeing to an immediate temporary stop to hostilities should Russia do the same. Since then, Putin has been non-committal on the proposal while fighting intensifies in Kursk. Putin said for a ceasefire, but raised concerns and set out his own conditions, such as certain security guarantees. Ukraine President Vladimir Zelensky, meanwhile, has accused the Russian leader of obstructing peace and, quote, prolonging, end quote, the war. Trump on Monday said the only reason he was involved in negotiations is, quote, for humanity, end quote. Quote, a lot of people are being killed over there, and we had to get Ukraine to do the right thing. It was not an easy situation. You got to see a little glimpse of the Oval Office, but I think they're going to do the right thing right now. And we're trying to get a peace agreement done. We want a ceasefire. We want to get a ceasefire and then a peace agreement, he says. Ukraine's Zelensky will monitor the conversation between Trump and Putin with caution and great interest, a Ukrainian official informed about a matter told ABC News. We agreed to the ceasefire proposal with zero conditions, and if Putin is going to start playing with Trump setting demands, it will not work, the source added. A key question moving forward is how far Trump will go in pressuring Russia to agree to a ceasefire and ultimately bring the end of a 3-year conflict, which began when Putin's forces invaded its sovereign neighbor. The Trump administration took drastic steps in stopping military aid and pausing some intelligence sharing with Ukraine after the Oval Office clash between Trump and Zelensky. These two resumed after Ukraine agreed to the ceasefire last Tuesday. Plus, U.S. officials have said it would be unrealistic for Ukraine to return it to its pre-war borders and expressly ruled out its bid for NATO membership. Meanwhile, the Trump administration has not publicly made similar demands of Putin. Trump on Saturday said land and power plants were on the table for Tuesday's discussion, as well as dividing up certain assets between the two countries. Well, I think it's going to be talking about land, a lot of land. It's different than it was before the wars, you know. And we'll be talking about land, we'll be talking about power plants. That's a big question. But I think we have a lot already discussed, very much by both sides, he told reporters on Air Force One. Trump last week said his administration could ramp up pressure on Russia, but it hoped it wouldn't be, quote, necessary, end quote. There are things you could do that wouldn't be pleasant in a financial sense, he said. I can do things financially that would be very bad for Russia. I don't think I want to do that because I want to get peace, end quote. ABC News' Olensky, Voshkaminsky, and Michelle Studert contributed to this report. Once again, this has been ABC News, read by Jacqueline Douglas.